Good morning, good afternoon. Come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. Many blessings to each and every one of you. Please forgive my tardiness. Come on in and do share. Love Walk Outreach Global. You can welcome my personal page and those that are present from that page today. Come on in and do share. Thank you, Destiny. Many blessings. It's not day 19. It's not day 19. It is day 20. It won't let me change that. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Excuse me. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Come on in and do share. I pray that all is well today. Come on in and do share. Mm-hmm. Yeah, prayer requests, I'm sure. Hold those in your heart. Hold those in your heart. Come on in and do share. Today we have prayers for courage. Prayers for courage. Blessings, Mary. Today, I want you to get your heart and your mind prepared. Again, we are praying for courage. But of course, there are other things that I will relay to you today. Courage, courage. In what area of your life do you need more courage? Is it the whole life? Is it just certain portions, certain pieces? What do you need help with today? Prayers for courage. Prayers for courage. How many people have you invited to join us today? You invited to join us today. Hmm. Blessings, Miss Donna. So again, on here today is the Love Walk outreach pages from YouTube and from Facebook. If you are commenting from any of those places, then I'll be able to see your comment here. If you are on my personal page, um, if you're able, either go over to the Love Walk outreach page on Facebook or the one on YouTube. If you want me to see your comments, I'm not able to see them from uh, the regular page unless I just go over to that place, and I don't want to have to go back and forth. So if you have any prayer requests or anything other along those lines, anything you want to say, uh, head over to the YouTube page or to the Facebook Love Walk page. Please do share. Please do share. Please do share. And I would really love it, especially those of you that are on my personal page. I will not always be here. It will not always be on this personal page. I will be on YouTube. I will be on the Facebook business pages. So go ahead and take yourself to those places, like and subscribe to get notifications, and invite people when you get there. I want to be able to see your communications, but there will be somebody listening on that page today that may need to hear what I have to say. But if you want to continue to be a part of this 100 days of prayer and flow, this is it. This is still a part of our daily, our weekly fellowship. But we are going to continue with the 100 days of prayer and flow every Sunday until. So I'm here on this platform, extending my arms as far as possible to reach. I had the Zoom connection, and on Zoom I would only be able to uh, go live from one page. So I switched to a streaming source and got to start working out all the things that go along with that, so the team can join me here and we can do everything we need to do and still be able to go live from both the YouTube page and the Facebook page. Welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm going to say good morning a few times. For those of y'all who know that I am such a night owl, I'm nocturnal for sure. Must be my assignment time in the earth. So it may be midday for you guys. It's definitely morning for me, being that I didn't go to sleep until morning. But so if I say good morning again, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't feel no type of way. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, you do not know me. I am Apostle Shalonda Treasure. I am known to the world of inspiration as the inspirational treasure. And I have many titles. So you may hear me go by Coach Treasure, Apostle Shalonda Treasure, Prophet Shalonda, the author, Shalonda Treasure Williams Leonard, whatever treasure you're looking for. We are all here in this able body, ready to use the gifts that God has given me in order to inspire the world to have a closer walk with God, self, and others. I believe 100% wholeheartedly that that is the answer to every problem, every solution, every world war, everything that we go through in this society, all the suffering, all the trauma and pain and issues. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. If you bold enough, you'll say love is the answer in the chat. Whatever chat you're in, you'll say love is the answer. Love is the answer. And today we're going to talk about why. We are going to pray for courage today, but we're going to give um, this flow of a message as to why love is the ultimate answer to every problem, every solution that we have. If you are ready, just say, I'm ready. Hopefully you're over there on YouTube or on the Facebook Love Walk Outreach Global page. For those of you, and I don't know yet, but I will let you know when I put out the form for those who believe, blessings RJ, those who believe outside of my children, that I am your spiritual guide, or the one that you will get most of your teachings from, where you will feed and all of that. I'm going to have something put together that you can actually put your name, your information in, not just the mailing list per se, and it will probably be that you can register through that. But I want to make sure that I have all of your information, so that you don't miss when I'm going live or when I'm traveling, when we get ready to meet together for our own Love Walk Crusades. And um, I'm coming to your city or town, your state. That way we can meet face to face, embrace. But I'm going to have a list of people along with the partners. The partners can be anybody, those who believe that I am their spiritual leader or not. You can become a partner just because you believe in the vision. But those who want to become partners in the sense of, and I don't want to call it membership, because the membership is over on my coaching side. Here, I want to just simply be present for you. There are many of you who are connected to me right now because I was your coach first, and my message on both fronts is the same. It just so happens that in coaching, I'm dealing with the individual, unique expression, the soul, the one person, on a more face-to-face, let's do some work type of level. In other words, I believe that in spirit, in religion, we get the message, we get the doctrines, we get the absolutes of it all, but we don't go deeper. We don't search deeper. There are many churches and ministries that do have some awesome plans in place to be able to bear the burdens of one another. So they may have counselors at their churches. They may have women's groups, men groups, children groups, all these different things to minister directly to the person, and give them the tools and tips that they need on a practical level. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to be in position to feed you spiritually, give you some insight. But I have a very intense mandate for women to help them to make whole their soul, because literally that's the way to spiritual liberation. That self-love, I didn't get away from it. Love is still the answer. When we begin to love ourselves, then things change, because you will do nothing except for what it takes to have peace. Peace within your being, peace within your mind, peace in your life, peace in your finances, peace in your body. And that's loving towards yourself. Well, thank you, Miss Donna, for inviting your two people in. Anything works. Remember, you never know what those two people, what those $2 can do, right? Remember, we had that talk. So we are here for it. All right. I just take the love, transition it over to my coaches, and we do a little bit more in-depth work. But the vision, the goal, everything about this walk is for me to help us to grow closer in love with the great I am, with the self, so that we can then carry out this great commission, which is to bear the burdens of one another in this earth, to be able to understand that we are not separate, we are one. We are just unique expressions of the great I am. Our viewpoint changes when we understand that everything we look at is God made manifest. Our viewpoint changes when we look at get the understanding that God has allowed us to have free will in this life, and that we get to choose whether or not we're going to live a life that leads to death and destruction. And He will love you anyway. He will love me anyway if I continue to destroy whatever He's given me, whether it be my body, whether it be my mind, whether it be anything else. And then there are those who literally are here who have certain weaknesses that we can't identify with. And so for some reason, we believe that they don't belong because we don't understand their disabilities. And I don't even know if we should call them disabilities per se, because a person with a disability can do just as much as anybody else can, maybe just from a different perspective. But when we begin to look at everything and everybody as God made manifest, love made manifest, and every element in this earth, that everything is God. Everything is God made manifest. Some of you are having a hard time receiving that. It's okay. You can stay where you want on your level. Just try to understand the principles that I'm teaching you and giving you. And that way, maybe you'll be able to change and shift your thinking and your thoughts too. Because love is the absolute answer. Love is the absolute answer. I see my son Romel is the only one who could type that in the chat. It is okay. It's okay. But love is the absolute answer to every problem, every solution, and every circumstance. So today we're going to discuss it a little more. How many of you have purchased and read What If God Is All of Us, considering the Love Walk approach to social justice and global healing? It's the book that I released along with my second novel on July 11th of last year. And so it's been circulating for a good 6 months now. If you have not purchased it and read it, why not? If you trust the voice of this prophet and this apostle, then you probably should grab the book, go ahead and read it all out, so that you will understand some of what I'm saying when we're live. Today I want to deal with the fact that love is the absolute answer, and how that ties in to the Christ mind. Yes. I've made mention before that though we will definitely tap into what some other brilliant love walk agents have spoken, I learned. All right, Miss Donna, love is the answer. I've learned that God speaks and has spoken to so many throughout this life, and still does. Actually, speaks to each and every one of us, whether we can fully understand it or not. But there are those who were bold enough to carry out the message, to take on whatever came with whatever came along with spreading a message that was different, separate from their upbringing. And I am one of those individuals who, at this point in life, pretty much stands in a place where I'm challenged by the doctrines that I grew up with in comparison to the mission and the commission that God has given me in the earth, right? And that means taking a stance, not necessarily to be against anybody, but to be for what you believe. And I'm going to say that one more time, see if you catch it. God didn't give me my assignment, or He's not living out my assignment, through me as a unique expression. He didn't give me this assignment so that I can stand against anybody. Like, my objective is not that I'm standing up so I can fight you. That's many of our stance, especially when we've been hurt or traumatized by something. We stand against it. In other words, I do not believe in that. I will not condone that. I got to fight that. And so when you stand up against something, your entire agenda is from a perspective of what you call it's like it's a line drawn in the sand. You know what I mean? Back in the day, it was baddest man hit my hand. and baddest man hit my hand was something that a person would stand there in the middle and they would let somebody hit their hand, and whoever hit first, the person that was, standing there being the instigator, they had to slap that person, the other person. If you was bad enough and you hit their hand first, then they had to slap that other person, and that other person would either hit you, right, or y'all would have to do it again, depending on how scared everybody was. But nevertheless, it was a stand. It was a line drawn in the sand. One had to stand on one side, one had to stand on the other side, and the whole intent of this activity was so that somebody could fight. Everybody gathered around. Everybody wanted to see a fight. And so you're standing up against another person, me against you, competition. Who's the baddest? Who's going to survive? Who's going to do this and who's going to do that? But when you are standing for something, somebody will say, well, doesn't that automatically make you against them? No, it just means I'm for something. Because the reality is I can't be against them because I don't know their full story. I can't be against them. I just know that it's not something that I want to participate in. So it's a personal decision. I stand on the foundation of love. I'm not here to stand against a person that is broken and that's doing things, acting out all over the world because they have not been healed. I'm not against them. My heart wants them to understand and to be able to live out this love as well. So my prayers, according to Christ Joshua, you bless your enemies and you pray for those who despitefully use you. And I have that in my mind because love is my foundation. That doesn't mean that I don't feel like I want to be in an uproar, like I want to strike back, like I want to, let people know I'm here. Like, hey, like I know you think that just because I walk in love, that means that I don't feel anything. I don't want to fight sometimes. I don't want to argue sometimes. And when I feel like I want to fight, I finally reached the highest point of passivity or something. But it takes a lot. But so my intention is not for me to be against you. I'm saying something. I hope y'all are following what I'm saying. This is a lesson, and I pray that you're taking notes or that you can apply this to your life this week. This requires a pivot in your thinking. Oftentimes, especially like, say, for instance, slavery happened, right? Biblically, we've heard about slavery. If you're a part of the African American culture, you hear about it all the time. Now you're listening to other people finally come out and tell their stories from different cultures about how they've been held hostage and in bondage. And when you hear it from that perspective, you're going to hear somebody that's that's taking a stand, but they're taking a stand against the oppressors and the slave owners. They're making a plan to stand against on purpose. Some people will say, well, no, they're just standing to defend themselves. Well, you can learn how to definitely defend yourself to be prepared when something or if something does happen. But your frame of mind is where we're going to sit at today. We're going to purify our hearts so that we can think clearly as to everything that I'm going to say to you. So let's take that deep breath. Breathe it all the way out, all the way out, all the way out. When you are breathing in, remember that is the breath of the great I am. Sometimes we need to see things from a different eye so we can know just how powerful of a presence this is. The very air running through each and every one of us, the very air. Now, of course, God is all of those things. God is the flesh, the elements, everything. But when we breathe this air in, and he breathed into them the breath of life, that is life, that is love. That's your breath. When you inhale, the breath of God is cleansing. And when you breathe out everything that has you bound up in yourself today. Let's do a heart check. In order for you to be able to fully receive, you must at least be willing to be open in your heart to grow. I do believe that there are those who will just listen to me because they need some seeds planted. They haven't decided yet whether they're committing to the process of growth. They haven't decided whether they're on a spiritual journey yet or not. Unconsciously, we all are. But when you make a commitment to it, that means you're actually focused on the practice. What can I do to be transformed by the renewing of my mind? What can I do about this heart of mine? Because God looks at the heart while man looks at everything else. And I need to deal with what God is looking at. Some people are not on that journey. Some people are not sure if they want to be. Some people are holding on to their venom and their pain. And they don't want to release it. They don't want to let it go. They don't want to let it go. But today, if you are listening to me and you take these deep breaths with me, then you are saying, God, open up the eyes and the ears of my understanding. Oh, great I am, you are greater than anything, any concept, any philosophy. I know we're all just trying to figure it out, God. But wink at our ignorance right now, Father. Wink at our ignorance. We stand here willing, though. We stand here willing to be expanded and opened. We stand here willing to heal our brokenness, to heal the brokenness of our ancestors, what has been passed down from generation to generation that has not been beneficial for us. We ask Ikataya, O Remandia Koso, Remashiki Atabai, O Remandia Kasiki, O Roboshianama, O Remandia Kasi. Heal the broken places in us. We are the generational curse breakers. Oh God. We are the curse breakers of our generation. There have been those who have come before us, and we honor them today. We honor everyone who has come before us, who has done their best to give us information, who have stood in the gap for us even before we knew what the world was. So we honor them today. Thank you, Christ Joshua, for being the example that I draw from. Every other leader who has come that has inspired me along the way, who has given me more and more understanding of how love heals this land. And we let this mind be in us, which was also in Jesus, in Yahshua. We pursue that mind. We now understand that his walk, his mission in this life was to encourage us to pursue the same mind that he had. Thank you for the sacrifice. Holy Spirit, lead us and guide us into all truth as we draw from the words of Christ Joshua, saying that there'll be a day where you don't worship in Jerusalem. There'll be a day that you don't worship in the mountains, for they that worship God must do so in spirit and in truth. So we are here to acknowledge the true essence of our very being. Oh God, you are all things at the same time, all the time. You are the omnipresent one, which does not exclude us, but it includes us. And so today we sit here and we receive that our kingdom of God is within us. We acknowledge your presence within all things. Shikataya. Take a deep breath. Sit with this. Sit with this. You are a unique expression of the great I am in this earth. Thank you, Christ Joshua, for giving us this information to mutter over, to think on. We let this mind be in us. We let this mind be in us. Ikataya basoko remandiakas. We let this mind be in us. We let the Christ mind be in us. We receive it. We acknowledge it, that there's a different way. There's a way. There's a way. In the doctrines that you have received over the years, we have been indoctrinated with a hate concept and principle. We have been taught to say things like, whatever God hates, I hate. God does not hate anything. And even in the scriptures where it speaks of hate, these are people's words describing what they felt. Now, I will say that if one of us is hurt, God hurts. And so if it's not beneficial for us, then God, of course, desires the greater outcome, the best outcome for us. So it's almost like as a parent, when you're looking at your child and they're going through some type of hate or being bullied or whatever, you may look at that other child or other individual and not be happy with their behaviors. But let's go ahead and be 100% real. God is no respecter of persons. He looks at the heart. So even as he may not like the behavior that is being displayed, experiencing this pain, he still looks beyond that. So if we continue with this doctrine and this idea that God hates anybody, then we're never going to be able to embrace what is that unconditional love. Love has no conditions. Hope y'all taking notes. And I don't care how many times you hear it, until you're living it without any room to grow, then you need to hear it over and over. But if you're here for it, you'll receive it. If you're not, you're a bucket. We have to see through different eyes. Go ahead and keep sharing this broadcast. We're going to be praying for courage in a minute. All of this is a lead up to that. The link is attached for anybody who wants to give. If you're covered by Love Walk Outreach Global, if you want to tithe, if you want to, whatever you want to do money-wise, the link is available. Feel free. We do so in cheer and in love. Understanding the assignment, wanting to be a part of the assignment, not holding back anything. We love you, partners. So God is no respecter of persons, and I want you to hear this. God is love. Love is the greatest command. Love is the greatest level of maturity. It's the answer to all things. All biases must be removed when love is your answer. Because love is just. Here's the principle of God, and this is the reason why God doesn't have to be vengeful and all of that, not from the way that we see life. But the principle of God is to sow and to reap. Seed time and harvest will always remain, and it's called different things in different faiths and religions. But believe it or not, all religions have the same core message, and it's always love. Sometimes it's love for their community, sometimes it's love for other things, but love is the ultimate lesson in every major religion because it's the answer. Now, we build our own doctrines and understandings around that. We look through our own eyes, and then we all create different things, and there are some people who agree with it, so they follow. There are some people who don't agree with it, and they want to fight it. It's a pattern of life. And we are the only ones who can change it. We are the only ones who can change the pattern because he gave that power and authority to us. He's living through our eyes. He's watching through us. He's experiencing life as you, as an individual. But greater is he that's within us. Love is the center of it all. Love is the core of it all. We are the embodiment of God, the embodiment of love. Love does no ill to its neighbor. Are you checking your heart right now? Are you checking your heart right now? Are you checking your heart right now? When you're taking those breaths, you go within yourself. You check your attitudes. You check your perceptions. You check your biases, your judgments, your conditions. When we begin to own this, fear can no longer live and breathe. We're not feeding fear anymore because perfect love casts out fear. That's why fear-based teachings are not in alignment. See, giving wisdom to somebody that you love, warning them of dangers because you've seen some things and experienced some things in life, that's something totally different than trying to impose your will on somebody else and make them scared so that they don't do something. And we've all done it because we've been programmed to do it at some time or another. We give people ultimatums and we put some fear-based something in there. If you don't do this, then I'll leave. If you don't do this, then I'll be this. If you don't do this, then I'll do that. God is not under any false impressions about what he created, what he manifested. He has no offense with you. That would make God very petty, very childish. And he's neither. Not in the fullness of who he is. Again, we only use terms like he and things like that because we have limited thinking. We don't understand God to be all things at the same time all the time. So we separate and divide based on what you believe. And you have every right to do that because according to your faith, you're supposed to live. Faith is what pleases God because it means that we fully believe something, or we at least fully pursuing it or fully willing. So the concept of God that we've been fed, we're going to have to begin to tear down old thought process and paradigms and build up a new one so that we will be the ones to heal the land. He uses us, our arms, our legs, our mouths, our energy, everything about us for the earth. We are designated to the earth. He's given that power and authority to us over the earth. There's so much more to life than the earth. So while we're biased on this level because we're looking at people and they're doing things that we do not count as productive, we don't think it's right, we don't like it, it makes us feel good somehow for us to talk about other people and what they got wrong, quote unquote. And we're all looking around with some level of pain or rejection or abandonment or brokenness in us, and we're judging other people for having the same. But we must be first partakers. Who's checking their heart? Who's checking their heart? Sekataya man sokorabaika shataya. Who's checking the heart? Shekataman sikio raboko shutiabaya bokus. Mandio shokotai. Ye kataya man sokore mandiokos. Kore mandiokos yalabayako. Who's checking the heart? God says they come close to me with their lips. They talk a good game. But who's bringing the heart? Who's willing to cleanse it? Who's willing to forgive in order to move forward? Who's willing to not just continue to look at everybody else's things and forget to go within yourself? To look at your reactions, to look at your reason why. Why intentionally hurt somebody? Why intentionally make them afraid? It might give you a little adrenaline rush. It might make you feel like you have some type of control over another. Check your heart right now. Man soko rebakiataya. Mandoko sikia remandioko. So check your heart, check your heart, check your heart. Check your heart. Oh, Ramandaya. Don't just be still and know. You should be breathing. You should be considering. If you're distracted right now, if you're doing everything else, that's your way of avoidance. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you get uncomfortable every time it comes time to search your heart and to look at why you feel the way you do. You want to go back and blame other people still and other circumstances still. But let this law of love be written on the tablet of your heart. That's our goal. Our goal is to allow the law of love to govern us. Some of you are afraid because you think, well, I'm going to be vulnerable. That leads people to think that they can take advantage of me, or that leads people to think that they can do whatever they want to do to me and I'm supposed to take it. Well, that depends on how you look at the situation. See, I'm prepared because I know that there are others that are hurting so badly that they don't know how to control some of the negative things that come out of their mouth and their behaviors. They've been so subjected to pain, grief, overwhelm, being beat down by life, by people. It's a cycle, and it keeps continuing, and you're continuing it if you choose not to release some of this pain and the grudges and the resentment and the anger and the thought that you wish that they would pay. Vengeful ideas and thoughts. Yep, I'm talking about what's in your heart. What's in your heart? What's in your heart? What's in your heart? But they rejected me. Okay, you rejected some people too. If not, then you would be with every person that you've ever met in your life, whether it be romantic relationships or not. Man soko remandia kasikio rebokotu. Are we doing a heart check? I'm aware that there will be those who are so busy trying to check my love walk to see whether it's genuine and real or not, that sometimes they'll push the envelope. They'll see how far they can push me before I explode or before I do the same thing to them that somebody else did. So yeah, something comes along with carrying this weight of being a love walker. Something comes along with this choice. Yeah, Jesus took a lot. Yep, Gandhi took a lot. Yep, all those spiritual leaders, the ones that we sit up here and argue about whether they were really spiritual leaders or not, they took something. They went through something. And no greater love is there than the love where someone will lay down their life for a friend. And I know that may not feel comfortable for you, but you want the same. It's the reason why you get mad at people when they don't show up for you the way you show up for them, because everybody wants to have a friend that's willing to take them as they are and be long suffering with them and go through the motions until they reach a certain level. We all want the same thing. So why is it that we toot up our nose and we look crazy when we are being asked to take on the same mind that was in Yahshua? If this message is for you today, you don't have to expose yourself. You don't have to do anything crazy. We're not standing at a physical altar, and even if we was, I still wouldn't embarrass you. It still would be up to you. You would still have to be the one to choose. Are you checking your heart? Are you checking your heart? Are you checking your heart? Sekataya man sokore mandia kasikiti. Shekataman sokore mandia kasikio rebokoshutu. Are you checking your heart? If at any time you're doing a heart check and your mind begins to go back to everybody who's hurt you, offended you, said something, it'll happen. It'll happen if you're practicing meditation. If you're practicing being still, you'll see those things. You'll feel those traumas. You'll feel them try to come up and choke you out. That's the type of seed that has been sown, the one that comes up and chokes you. But we're cultivating your ground. We're cultivating your ground to be good ground, to be soft, to be conducive for planting. We're cultivating your soil. We're breaking it up. When you do your heart checks and you go within and you want to think about everybody else, I need you to come back out of that space. It's choking you. It's choking you when you start thinking about everything and everybody else. You don't give yourself time to really consider. It's almost like you take that seed and you spew it right back out. You don't want to go through the germination process. You don't want to go through the dying in order to come to life. You feel like it's everybody else that need to do it, not you. I'm talking to somebody, and I know I am. Especially when the numbers keep going down and down and down and down. It's too heavy of a message. It's okay. Man socorre bakataya man sikio rebokotu. Shekata man socorre by. If you are distracted, choose to sit down. Take a deep breath and decide if you're willing to go through this moment of deliverance, of peace, of healing. Apostle, why do you do this every time? Why you can't just go into prayer? Why you can't just go into the message? Because I'm here for healing and wholeness. I'm not here to give you some type of program to see whether or not the program works for you or not. See, you want to keep yourself active and busy and moving around so that you don't have to sit down and deal with the stuff that's going on within you. But everybody wants salvation. The salvation is not about the cross. That was a sacrifice, a once and for all for his culture. And it just so happened to spread abroad. Jesus was ending or trying to end the sacrificing of animals. No more bloodshed. No more bloodshed needs to be done. No more bloodshed needs to be done. No more bloodshed needs to be done. Let's do this once and for all mankind. You are forgiven. Nobody's holding all of your past sins and everything over your head anymore. They're already forgiven. Now I just need you to be present in your heart. Let the mind be in you that was in me. Begin to understand that if you take on this same mind, then you will know who you are. You will know the power that you stand in. You will know that you and the Father are one because God is in all things at the same time, all the time. If you let this mind be in you, your yoke will be easy and your burden will be light. Not me carrying it for you, because no, I need you to take up your cross and follow me. I need you to take up that cross of yours. See, there's nothing that we have to do looking at God thinking that God won't accept us. Now, the principles of life will work. So if you sow something, then you got to be man enough or woman enough to take what the reaping is for that. God doesn't have to punish us with vengeance. The principles itself will work. And that's whether it's a beneficial thing or a non-beneficial thing. You choose to live in a place of defeat and poverty, and for the rest of your life, that's what you choose. You're free to choose. But everything has a consequence, whether good or bad, or we consider it to be good or bad. It all has one. So God doesn't have to be petty and angry and pissed off with the whole world because for some reason he's not God enough to know what he created. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Shokotaman Sikio Robokotuap. Look within. It's from the youngest to the oldest. Everybody should be still in this moment. Anything around you is distracting you. You could put up a little finger, let them know that, nope, this is my time. Offer them the opportunity to sit with you. Because this is not a space where we're pointing fingers. It's a space where we're doing introspection. If you're squirming, if you have a very highly active mind like mine, then this is what practice is for. Be still. If your fingers are fidgety, if you feel like you got to keep moving your body, you might want to just rock back and forth like me. If your hands are bothering you, you might want to sit on them. If you are clenching up, if you're full of anxiety, any of those things, sit on your hands. Now breathe. Oh, great I am. Search our hearts. Search our hearts. Search our hearts. Oh, search us, Lord. Oh, search us, Lord. What discouragement are you holding? What are you discouraged about in this moment? See, all of these things that I'm calling up and out, calling forth, these are the things that are causing a hindrance in your life. I'm still sensing those who are holding such big grudges against people that you are literally blocking every word. So you got to sit with yourself right now. Decide whether you're willing to let it go. Shetabasoremandiakasi. Mokorebaikataya mansokorebata. Shontomon sikio rebokutuabai. Mandio soreba. If you find anything that should not be, bring it to my awareness, oh God, that I'm able to see clearly what I need to work out. There may be things that you're holding on to since childbirth, from the time you can remember. Man sokoremandiakas. At some point, when these negative images or memories come up, and when you're doing this practice, it may take a while. It depends on how big of a hold it has on you, how big of a stronghold you're dealing with. But you continue to sit and you continue to practice. You continue to believe that all things work together for your good. Man socorre mandioko sutu. Man socorre mandiaka sikio robokutua. Man socorre mandioko sutukushiti. It's grievous sometimes from the space of a leader, from a spiritual leader, especially because all you want, well, I can only speak for me, but all I want is for those who are listening to me, whether virtually or whether I'm live, to feel the love of God, the place of non-judgment, the place of acceptance, and for them to sit in that space full of love, knowing that it's okay for them to shed all of the dead weight, and to realize it's permissible. It's permissible for you to hold on to your grudges. You can do that. You can hold on to your grudges. You can hold on to the pain. You can hold on to the traumas. You can hold on to all of that. You can become your own stronghold. When you are resistant to what can heal you or help you because of your limitations in thinking and doctrines and teachings, then you are not yet ready for God to be Lord of your life. For you to let God's will be done in your life, you're not ready. If you're worried about what other people may say or what, and you keep ruminating over as opposed to taking a different route. And as a spiritual leader, especially one who is empathic, meaning that I can feel what's going on with people when I'm in their space or virtually or whatever. while I'm talking and while I'm giving instructions, I can see the busyness. I can see people getting up, pacing the floor. All of a sudden now you're hungry. All of a sudden now you want to be able to move around, and it's a form of avoidance. Come on, we're healing. And you got to face what you need to heal, even if it's generational. Who are you? And why are you here? You're here to hear. And so it makes me a little bit vexed sometimes, because in my heart, I'm like, God, but don't they know that all they have to do is just be? All they have to do is just participate in their own growth, in their own maturity. Reverend Beckwith calls it unfolding, in their own unfolding. That's all we're doing. That's all we're on. We're on a path to unfold, to get to the place where we fully know and recognize that God has always been, always will be, is. I am that I am. And today I am your healer. Seek ye first that kingdom of God and all its righteousness. The kingdom of God is within you, says Christ Jesus. Yield to that space. Oh, search me, Lord. Oh, search me, Lord. Turn a light from heaven on my soul. If you find anything that shouldn't be, take it out and strengthen me. I want to be right. I want to be saved. I want to be whole. We've been singing words all of our lives. We've been singing the words. We've been singing the words. We've been singing the words. We've been saying, I'm saved. I want to be saved. I'm saved. I want to be saved. I'm saved. But do we understand what that really means? You are being rescued from anything that is not beneficial for you. But that must be something that you know of within yourself. Take one more deep breath. When you breathe out everything that just came up for you. Breathe out everything that just came out for you. If being stubborn is your way of rebellion, can I tell you that you're not hurting God by your rebellion? And I'm talking about rebellion in the sense of you bucking from yourself. Because this is not a control exercise. This is about you. So if you're rebelling against anything right now when it comes to this walk, then you're rebelling against yourself. You're rebelling against your wholeness. But today I'm about to pray for your courage. This is how we bear the infirmities of the weak. We understand that there are those who are willing and ready, and there are those who want to be. But whatever has hurt their lives has run deep. So we just leave room. We just leave room. If you are yielded, just say, God, I'm willing. I am willing to know the fullness of you as me. Ayaraman sokoremand. Because then I know what my purpose is. Then I know what my assignment is. Then I know. But until I can meet me, the me that you intended, then I'm going to keep going in circles. And today, I don't want to go in circles anymore. Man sokoremandia kasikio revokotu. Mary, I hear the Lord say that you will see a change, and it will happen in your health first. As you continue to show up for these prayers, as you continue to do the affirmations that you received from coaching, as you continue to reprogram your mind, you are so willing. Your heart is so wide open to total and complete healing. And as you are, kataya man soko rebikia tabaya, go rebakati, as you are willing to do the work and to unfold and to become your highest and best self, to change your energy from low vibrational to high vibrational, as you're willing to do that work, as you said before, you have your children doing some of this work with you, and that's absolutely amazing. Teaching them how to address things when they come up instead of holding them and suppressing them all of their lives. But you're going to see the results of your work in your health first. I see you being highly energetic. I see you doing some weight loss activities, nothing that's pressuring, but just something to say, you know what, I'm going to change this behavior. I'm going to change this thing because it no longer serves me a purpose. Congratulations. Congratulations on making a decision. Congratulations on taking the steps. Congratulations. No matter how small you may think they are steps nonetheless. And you are blessed. God sees you. Everything about your life is going to change. You'll end up being the one that rises up, calls others blessed, not forcefully, not trying to make them convert or anything like that, but just simply living it, living in love, living in peace. Your creative mind is opening up, and you're going to need that energy to be able to showcase yourself, to travel. Don't allow anything to make you afraid to pursue these things. No fear of loss of people, loss of money, loss of anything. Don't think in terms of I gotta lose all this stuff in order to gain something. Just simply focus on what you're standing for. And what you're standing for in this hour is change, being transformed by the renewing of your mind, becoming whole, working towards being fully mature in love, but not beating yourself up if you miss something here or there. You're learning, you're growing. And for every difficult space that you come into, remember that you are supported, and prayers are always continuously going up for you. You are not alone in the spirit realm. May the angels of support, strength, stand guard, stand watch. And they can only move by order. So when you're praying, if you need the angels to do something for you, and of course, praying that your heart is fully in love. We don't dispatch our angels to hurt others or to do things that may cause pain. They're there for you. Shikataya mansoko rebakataya. They're standing watch. Your home is covered. Mandokoso rebaika shikatai. But I see the change. I see the energy level changing. Weight coming down. Man soko remandioko sutu shitiabaya. O remandioko sotoko remandia. God is always mindful of you, Mary. God is always mindful of you. Those of you who are listening to me, God is always mindful of you. I need you to type that out as a sign of receptivity, even if it's hard for you to really fathom and understand. God is always mindful of you. Even if it's hard for you to believe it, but you really want to, then just say simply, God, I am willing. I am willing to understand you greater, to understand your love for me in greater measure. I'm willing. That means you open up your heart to the fullness of what's being shared with you. Last night we prayed for discernment, I believe, so make sure that you are discerning with those who are coming to have the conversations or who may want to knock you off this marker. Remember with Jesus, he said there'll be people that you probably have to leave behind because they may not understand what you're doing. You don't have to hate them. You don't have to stand against them, but you have to stand for you. When you begin to walk out the narrative of love and healing people and giving back, pouring out more than what you're looking to receive, when you change your mindset, when you change your thoughts, you'll see the change in your life. Mandoko Sataya. Oh God, I pray for their courage. I pray for our courage to be able to go forth anyway. This is for those of you who would say, well, I want to, but it seems like I can't. And every time I do this, then this happens. And you can keep muttering over what's happening, but recognize that it's just a part of what comes along with your journey. You're shedding old skin. So yes, you're going to feel anxiety. Yes, some things are going to come up for you. And when they do, that's when you apply what you know. And you do it, and you do it, and you do it, and you do it until all of a sudden one day you look up and don't even realize that it stopped a long time ago. Courage is doing something even if afraid. Doing it anyway. You're afraid of this healing. You're afraid because it's unfamiliar to be healed. It's unfamiliar to be without the anxiety. It's unfamiliar to be without all of the things that have been holding you back. Be strong and courageous. Ikataya man sokoremand. Koremandio. Be strong and courageous. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Greater is he that's within you. Stand up for yourself. Your adversary is not stronger than you are. Your adversary just have suggestions. You get to choose what suggestions to follow and to lead into. The suggestion of agony and pain and misery is forever there with you. But the suggestion to let love heal it all, to walk in the cool of the day with God again, be naked and unashamed, come back into full connection with yourself and who you are in God and who God is in you. God, I feel you so strong right now. Mando kosaya. Shikataman sorema. Ketaya mandio koso. You never leave nor forsake because you are always ever present, never absent. Amandio kosu remandiakas. Mando kosekia remandio korumukushiti. It doesn't matter what they do to you. Don't become the very thing that you despised and hated. Don't become that to someone else because you know what it feels like to be on the other side of it. Do not become that. Don't become the monster that you fear. Sometimes we think that we have to become the monster in order to think like the monster and be able to fight back and have the proper skills to overcome the monster, but you don't. Love is the only thing that heaps burning coals on the heads of an enemy. Because what you're doing when you match energy is you're feeding that negative energy and it just grows. Look at the world. Dog eat dog is the climate of most of the world. Get before you are got. It's a climate. And this is causing us more grief because more loss is happening. Unnecessary loss. Shekataman sokoreman diakatiaband. Hushya. So let us be strong and courageous. Let us stand for love. Now, love also allows. So you are not, as long as you're doing it from a pure place, you are not wrong when you choose not to participate in something that is destructive towards yourself or towards another. So peer pressure and other things will come to try to tempt you to do something else. But temptation cannot come unless it's something you desire. And so if what they're saying to you is tempting, it's because something within you desires to do this thing or to say this thing or to be this thing. Simply put, you have a choice to make. Is this beneficial for me? Is it beneficial for the greater whole? If it is not, this is where sacrifice comes in. Be strong and courageous to stand for something, not against. When we stand against things, and that means we don't understand that it's a part of the greater whole and the greater plan, whatever it may be. But by faith, you get to choose whether to participate or not participate. We all can be the demon. We all can be the angel. We all have been the offended, and we all have been the offender. Shed that weight, that fear. Stand for the healing of the land. Stand for your healing, your wholeness. Stand for it. Stand for it. Koremandia kasikio robokutua maya. Mansoko rema ikataya mansikio robokutu. Yes, Amani, I see your post that says love is the only thing and it's that heaps burning coals, but helps us good on your head of the enemy. Martin Luther King Jr. said that love is the only thing that can turn an enemy into a friend. Because love is constant, it's consistent. Stand. Stand for something. Strong and courageous. I thank you for the courage. The courage to stand even when it's very tempting to just give it all up. Mandokosaya mandiokosu. Mandiakosukure mandiakosataya. Mary, God already said that he has the angels dispatched to surround you all and that your home is protected. But I hope you did hear where God said that there's choices still to be made. Don't be afraid for your children. Continue to teach them and to grow, and to love. But here's the reality. The reality is that they have their own path to walk. They have their own growing to do. And as parents, all we can do is raise them up in the way we believe they should go. We made our own judgment calls along the way. That was a part of their life story too. After you've done all you can, just stand. Even if they make decisions that you are not totally comfortable with, you have to make room for them to err and for them to learn. But as you continue to make peace within yourself, the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So as you choose to stand on the path of love, that's the path of righteousness, the path of love, the path of knowing that we're here one to another, that we're willing to help bear the burdens of one another. Love does no ill to its neighbor. So when you're standing in righteousness, you're standing in faith through love. And as you continue to practice and work your way to being that individual, even as they are living life, living and learning, you still keep your stance. Continue to pray that even when they push the envelope and they get too close to something, that they will be reminded that they don't have to do anything that causes harm, but they will still have to choose for themselves what they'll do in any given situation. And I know that's tough as a parent to be able to release our children to the will of God for their lives. We are literally just here to be whatever it is we needed to be to those children. Sometimes that don't seem pleasant for some parents, for some children. My mama wasn't this, my daddy wasn't this. But now God is showing you who you are to become because of all that you've endured. Your children are blessed, but they do have to live. Oh, remandia kasikio rebokutuabaya. Oh, remandia. I understand it. I understand it. I understand it with my whole heart. I do. I understand it with my whole heart. I do. You always want what's best for them, even when they don't understand it. And every lesson that you teach them is so that they can get closer and closer to safety within themselves. But we have to be very careful that we do not give them space to grow, to err. That's why love is without condition, because there are going to be errors. There are going to be decisions that they make out of their pain, out of their resentment, out of their anger. And all we can do is teach them that that's not the answer, to respond from a negative perspective, because you're just starting the cycle of hate all over again. But they hurt too. They go through decisions that they have to make that are hard. And when all you want to do is fit, belong somewhere, it's hard to be able to fathom that I shouldn't act out to get this attention. But keep praying. Keep loving them. Keep embracing them. Even when they are not making a wise decision. And sometimes when they don't make the wise decision, you have to let the repercussions happen. For every action, there is a consequence. There's an effect. And sometimes we have to allow them to learn on their own while still being long-suffering and loving towards them, so that we do not contribute to their hurt to the best of our ability. But as a mom, you have a right to stand your ground as well, to be able to say, this is something that is acceptable in my house. This is something that's not acceptable in my house. And they may get frustrated and aggravated, but they'll be grown soon enough when they can make the decision for themselves. But prayerfully, they'll take the wisdom along with them. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart. I believe that. But it doesn't say what comes in between that. It doesn't say that life doesn't still happen. It doesn't mean that they don't have to learn lessons. And so leave room for God to be God. You can't stop every pain they will experience. You can't stop every pain, but you can be there to comfort. You can be there to love them. And you can be there to challenge them in certain areas so that they can build their muscles in certain aspects of life. And all of them are different, so they all need something different. Man shoko remandia kansikio rebokutu abaya. Shikataman soko rebai kataya. It is well, Mary. It is well. It is well. Man soko rebai kataya basikio rebokutu amaya. Ashetebeke yaraboko sataman sikio rebokuti abaya. Ma soko remandioko suku remandiakas. I want to say blessings upon blessings to each of one of you who are on listening to today. We are on Facebook on the Love Walk Outreach Global page. We are on YouTube on the Love Walk Outreach Global channel. We are on our first personal Facebook page today. But those of you who are listening from my personal page, please do go like and subscribe the Love Walk Outreach Global pages or the Inspirational Treasure pages, because that's where I'll be. I'll only show up on this personal page to do prayer and teachings when I am instructed to do so. So if you want to be a part of every one of them, or you want to get notifications for all of them, please do go to YouTube and Facebook and like and subscribe. Instagram or TikTok as well, to like and subscribe so that you will get notifications when I am live. The 100 Days of Prayer and Flow will be on YouTube and Facebook Love Walk Outreach Global pages. Guaranteed to be in those two places, as long as we definitely have the cooperation of the streaming source. But the other ones, the third one that I may choose, that it may be different every time. So go and like and subscribe and share with others if you believe that these prayers, this flow, this time of prophecy and insight is something that they may be able to get with. Become a Love Walk partner with us today. If you can do so in love and in cheer, it means that, hey, I've received something here today and I want to honor the vessel and the ministry. I want to see it continue to grow. I want to see it expand. And as you have fed here today, then you have no problem with pouring into or seeding into what we're doing. It's the vessel and it's the vision. It's not separate. For those of you who are still bruised and broken because of money, things, and conversations with churches and synagogues and other places abroad, again, we do what we do here out of love, so there's no force. But if you are in agreement with the vision, if you are connecting to the vision, and you're connecting to the vessel and the vision together, we are one. And so you can give with that in mind, that we do honor those who pour into us. If you are under the covering of me as the apostle, or under the ministry, and you say, if somebody asks you, hey, do you have a spiritual community, or you have a church that you go to? Well, I have a spiritual fellowship that I'm a part of, and it's virtual. It's Love Walk Outreach Global. If you can say that, if that's what your declaration is, then that means you are connected. You are a partner in many different ways. And so I'm grateful for you. At that link is where you can tithe, where you can give. Man Sokoremandia. I just felt a little bit of relaxation in the spirit realm. It seems that some of you are breathing easier now. Mandoko Sataya, Mansekia Remandio Kosutushite. Give your best. Give your best. I'm going to be praying over your offerings, your gifts of love in a minute. But even if you are not deciding to be fully connected to Love Walk, and it's not something that you think you can do continuously, that's okay too. But if you received anything here today, any confirmations, any healing, if you feel lighter, then we do encourage you to give, to pour into this particular day. But give your best, give your best, give your best. I'm going to pray over every offering, every seed, because the open heaven is still happening. The open heaven is still happening. There's a lot of reaping that is already happening right now for those who have been continuously pouring into others, giving even in the places where they felt like they could not. It's open and they're receiving. It's open and they're receiving. And so even if you just put seed in the ground for that reason alone, God, increase me, expand my reach. Any of those things ring true for you. We welcome you to become a partner as well, whether it be one time or monthly. We honor it all. Blessings upon blessings, destiny. See, as I pray over those who give, if you're on Facebook on my personal page, I don't know if I'll be able to see it, but preferably I will just go to that link that's been put on the page. Here's the link. Man Socorreba. Even if the link doesn't show up on the chat, it will be here pinned, and there's the link where you can go and give today. But as you give your 100% best. Give your best. Consider a bountiful seed today. Bountiful to you may be different, but you know what your capacity is. But I'm praying for intentional things today. So consider a bountiful seed. Mandoko sataya mansikio rebokotuabaya. As I pray for those who are giving right now, as I pray for those who are giving right now, Amani Rose. Okay, Mary. As I pray over each seed that I see pop up here, if you have Cash App or anything like that where I don't have that thing anymore, you can still pay with your Cash App card. You can sow with your Cash App card or any debit card or credit card you have over there at that link. If you have Zelle, Zelle is lovewalkoutreachglobal@gmail.com. You can do it through Zelle as well. It should show up for me, but I want to acknowledge you today. Miss Destiny, I want to say thank you for your love offering. I don't know whether it's your tithe or your love offering, but either one is to be blessed. To your desire to be faithful, you showed up today, even as you are navigating through the obstacle that's presented itself over this week, where y'all have gotten the weather that changed your dynamic, just for a little while, preferably. But what I'm grateful for is that the tree falling on your home did not hurt anybody in that home. I'm grateful that I didn't get a call from somebody else. So I am so grateful to God for sparing your lives. And though this may be a temporary inconvenience, you decided to show up even to just be in the space. I pray for your heart that it would settle, that you would recognize that you do not have to chase anybody for love ever again. But the fact that you are willing to be present, willing to pour in, even in the midst of your circumstances. I declare blessings upon blessings over your life in this very moment. Your mind is being shifted. Steady yourself. No more running towards anything, not in this season. It may be for another season, but in this season, no more running after or towards anything. Walk, pace yourself. See, this is the opposite of what you know to do, because you spent your life trying to impress, trying to be right, to make everybody proud, make everybody see you different. And the weight of that is shown on your physical being. It's shown in the activities. And when you come up short, when you feel like you have not accomplished the goal, then you add more weight of shame and guilt, but not anymore. No more. Pace yourself. You do not have to perform in order to be loved. Your personality is what someone needs in this world. Do not change it. Just check your heart at all times. Whew. Shoko remandia kasi. I feel deliverance, y'all. I feel something coming up and out. If it's you, if you feel it, let it be. Let it happen. Oh. Shukataya man soko rebaikatai. Whew. Whew. I feel sick to my stomach. If you are feeling that, if that's you, let it come up and out. Whew. Receive that deliverance. Let it come up and out. Let it come up and out. If you do that, you'll be on the path. See, you thought that there were things that you've already forgiven and let go of, and it's still residue. Let oh God, Ramando kosataya man sikio robokutuai. Man socorre bai kataya man socorre bai. Oh God, even I surrender in this very moment. If there be anything, any residue, let it come up and out. We no longer hold it. Destiny, you are safe. Your heart is safe. When I say this, you know it's from my heart. But hear me also. Times and seasons change. Whenever you feel like your season is changing and you need to shift, you cannot allow what you consider to be faithfulness or loyalty to blind you. Just be honorable and have a conversation. No fear. No fear of losing. Man soko rebakatai. Shikataman soko rebakati amandioko. Let the freedom happen. Let the liberation be. What you feeling in your body, if you feel like you need to release something, you're being liberated. You're being freed. Shoko remaikataya. Oh God. I pray that every answer that you need comes quickly and that it's not holding you back from you and the children being able to be back in a stable environment. We pray for every family in the Atlanta area or surrounding areas that has had some type of power outages, that everything will be restored. It will not take a long time. It will not take weeks. It will not take days. It's being resolved. Go remandia kasikio rebokotu. Whew. I'm going to pray over Amani and Miss Donna C, but I need to say this to someone who's listening to me. You do not have to I don't know what point you're trying to prove with the intentional resistance, but I can feel it pushing back against me in this moment. If you do not believe in sowing and giving, it's okay. That's something that may just need to be a new thing planted within you, a new understanding to be received about it all. I pray that you get that understanding, but there should not be intentional resistance against this live because you don't agree. You have your business, you have your job, you have the things that you do to contribute your gifts to the world, and you expect and need for there to be a giving of some sort. If you work the hours, you get the paycheck. You got to sustain your family. So you may not be able to understand it from a spiritual perspective yet, but spiritual giftings are no different. You either have to choose whether you agree or whether you don't. And if you've been in this space and you've heard anything I said, or you felt the spirit of God, or whatever the case might be, then you received. If you didn't, that's okay. But the intentional resistance is unnecessary. Just choose not to give it. Let everything you do here be of cheer and of love. But again, you're standing against something that you don't understand. Just stand for what you stand for. I ain't giving my money to them people. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. Hey, according to your faith, be it unto you. But in this space, we understand that we sow and we reap. And continuously, we are here one to another. So if somebody blesses me, blesses this ministry, you don't have to stand against that. Like, I literally can hear the chatter so loud. I can see the almost like the just kind of think about what it looks like to have a person who is resistant on purpose. You know how children may fold their arms and stuck their feet, or they make a pose like, nope, I ain't giving in. Somebody's doing that right now in the spirit realm, and it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So simply just dismiss yourself for this part, or just make up in your mind that you don't believe that that principle is necessary, and that, you know, spiritual leaders need to do something else because you don't understand the weight of what it means to have this gift or this call. And that's okay. But please, the resistance, the intentional resistance, putting up the wall, all of that is unnecessary. So I bless you today, and I bless that whatever you need for your life, however it needs to go for you, however you give, however you sow, whether you just do it through charitable organizations, whether or not you do it for your family and your friends, you give freely in those ways. Hey, you're still giving, you're still pouring. And I'm not going to stop pouring out and giving and praying and flowing because people are resistant to honoring me as a gift in this earth. I can't. I'm still going to do it. And those who will, let them come. Those who believe in the principle, let it be. But I trust and believe that me and my children, my family, my husband will still be able to eat. And that is my declaration. So bless you. Bless you. Right now, Amani, we lift up your seed, your love offering that you've given. And I declare, first of all, if you don't already know, that there is so much good fortune attached to your life. Be mindful of what your heart does. Be mindful of how you treat any and everybody, so that you will only sow good things. Your life is meant to be fabulous, fantastic, full of life. You're meant to travel the globe, entertaining people. God has a very big vision for your life. I was seeing it last night while we were in here playing cards, and we were watching videos, looking at you and Christian perform and just do things and be funny. And of course, God has been dealing with me about making sure that I get this production company up and running and writing the inspirational pieces, and you know, us setting up a stage to do it, to act it out, and all those things. And I watched, and I saw you guys, and I always do. I see y'all in very big visions, and I see a lot of the things that God wants to do in your life. But of course, as the mom, oftentimes it's tuned out because, you know, you want to be able to find your own way. But I want to encourage you today, Amani, to recognize that there is such a gift and a light in you, and that you don't have to do anything to be accepted. You don't have to do anything to be loved. So be mindful of what your heart does. And I don't have to go into details about anything. I'm sure that you are well able to go within your heart and check yourself, and to just see what your heart is doing. But continue to give. And when you do so in love. When you give to anybody, when you share with anybody, do so in love. Watch your life take on something that you never thought possible. God favors you because you have had moments of trying to favor others, you know, being there for your friends, wanting them to have the best things and all of that. And so now that heart that you have to do that for them, let that be your heart all the way around the board in your life. Oh my God. I just see brightness. I see joy. I see laughter. Of course, you're going to try things and do things, and you're going to have to live and learn, but you are blessed to be a blessing. You shall grow in wisdom. You shall grow in wisdom, so that when you get to the levels that you need to in this life, when you're in performing or modeling, or you're doing the movies or whatever it is that you're doing, you'll know how to stand in integrity, stand in love, and life will continue to expand and grow for you in your favor. Man socorre bai katabas. Koremania kantio kosoto koremandio kosutu. Is Christian listening with you, Amani, or is he on his own tablet? I have a message for Christian too. But I bless your seed. I bless your love offering. May it continue to grow and expand. May every business idea that you have, Amani, take on a life of its own. May you always thrive. It is so, and so it is. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let me know if Christian is near you. Just make sure he's listening so I can say what I need to say. Man socorre baikataya. Miss Donna, I thank you for your love offering. I thank you for your love offering. It's my prayer that God will continue to allow you to see through clear eyes what you need to do, where you need to give, how much. Be careful not to allow your heart to close up to any possibilities, because God is not done. And you have already given and sown seed to this point. But going forward, just be mindful. Let him talk to you. Let him speak to you. And no fear attached to it. No wondering, if I do this, is this going to work? If I do this, is this going to work? God says no wondering about any of that. Just live by faith. Look what I've done, he said. Look what I've already done. Look what I've already done. May you increase all the more. May you increase all the more. May you feel the results of this seed in your everyday living, in the eyes and the words of your loved ones and family members. Rest in the fact that you are a blessing. I really do see you just anew, Miss Donna, just new. Your home being a little bit bigger, whichever one you're going to get, however it's going to work, it's going to be bigger with more space. But I see you walking around just confident, in better health, but just confident that all things are working in your life and that you will be sustained. No worries. Christian, if you can hear me, type something in the chat. Mando Kosaya. And it is so. Christian, you are a voice for your generation. Interestingly enough, you were talking about generations the other day, and you were like, who's in my generation? And I said, a lot of your friends, those around your age group. You are a voice in your generation. So as you get older, now actually before you actually get to high school, you're going to take a stance. You are the heart. And that means that you have a heart very similar to your mama's. We don't like to see people hurt or broken, hate crimes, hate things towards other people will strike a chord in you, and you'll feel the need to stand up for those who are the underdog, those who are being hurt because of a lot of things that you went through. And this happens and has happened for a few of your siblings, and some of that bullying and hurt that they went through caused their hearts to be like, you know what, I'm not going to let this happen to me. So it grew them tough skin a little bit. But God is not going to allow that to happen with you, because you will not be the result. And this was prophesied to me and your dad a long time ago. But you won't have the same battles mentally that we've suffered. You will be clear-minded. You will come into the full identity of who you are. You will own all of that. And your generation, those who feel like they are left out, they are not loved, you'll be able to show them love because you received love. Because you received love. You'll be able to show them what love looks like. Sometimes that means that there'll be people who may want to take advantage of your kindness and your loving heart, but you stand to be a loving person. Don't mistreat people. And even the ones that seem to be the bullies, pray for them, but stand for the cause of helping people feel good about themselves. You are blessed to be a blessing. Your voice will be heard all across the world in the appointed time. So no worries, no trying to figure it out. Just be a kid. And when it's time for you to do what needs to be done, you will be well equipped and you will be well supported. Being the youngest child is not always the easiest thing to do. You know, it feels like you have to be in everybody else's shadow and that you're always going to be told what to do and you're never going to be able to live and not be controlled by everything and everybody. But hold on. You have a purpose and you have a place. And even your siblings over the years will see how anointed you are. I hear the word anointed. How anointed you are to intercede and to cover other people. How you're meant to see beyond the negative things about people and to only see the good in them. That's the love of God working through you and in you. And I pray and I stand as your mom, covering you, that nobody will ever be able to take that joy away from you, take that love away from you. Now you're a kid and you're going to live and you're going to learn and you're going to grow and you're going to do some stuff. And that's okay too. You are a blessing. And never let anybody make you feel or think otherwise. It is so. Father, we lift up Miss Mary C to you today. We thank you for her love offering. We thank you, oh God, that even in this very moment, you are already responding and have responded to her heart's pleas. You have already responded to her heart's desires. You have already responded to her heart's cries. Father, give her rest within herself. Mary, God really wants you to focus on continuing your self-improvement, working on your health, working on getting your mental stable and straight when it comes to your thought processes. Continue to practice every single day. I think that's, and I don't think, but I know that's why you don't want to miss a notification when it's prayer time. You try to make sure that you're present every single day. And when you miss the time, I know you feel some type of way within yourself. Don't beat yourself up about what you can't do and haven't done. Just continue to be present. I feel that you are connected to Love Walk Outreach Global. I feel that you are connected to me on a personal in this season of your life. And if that be the case, as your spiritual advisor or counselor or leader or any of those things, get where you're supposed to be and be okay with that. You'll be watered. Sun gonna shine right on you and you're gonna grow. But your focus needs to be that. No worries. No worries. No worries about the rest of the family. Only love. Love doesn't worry because love is sure that everything is going exactly the way it needs to. So it's going to be difficult for you not to worry about your kids and worry about the fam, but you got to practice. I have faith enough to believe that all is well. And even the things that you don't understand about this life and what they may have to go through, let God deal with all of that right now. Put it out there. Be honest. So he can go ahead and help you to grieve through whatever you need to grieve through, to have peace about all of it, so you can continue on. May you be blessed to the full until you overflow. The fact that you went to find the seed, the fact that you went to figure out how to put it on this card and that card and do whatever you need to do to get this seed in the ground, I declare with that same urgency, with that same love, with that same desire to go forth and to push even when it seems impossible, God will respond. Divine protection be your portion. May the light of God even now in this moment surround you and your children. Shikataya mansoko rebai katamandio kosu. I see colors colorful lights surrounding each you and your children, and they all have different colors, which represents different things. Yeah, everything God has done is on purpose. Colors have meanings, numbers have meaning. Everything has a meaning in life, and you have to establish what those things are. The color purple, the violet light is over you. I declare even in this moment that you shall stand strong as the royal one that you are. There is such a prestige that God wants to allow over your life, but you don't believe that you can be that. You don't believe that you're the influencer. You don't believe that you can stand in a room full of people and that they will be celebrating your accomplishments. My God, Mary, it is well. It is well. It is well. Blessings, Apostle Charles Jerome. It is well. It is well. I didn't make it to Grits and Glory today, brother, but I am going to listen. You know I am. I didn't even go. I don't think I went to sleep until probably about 5, 6, 7 o'clock this morning. Maybe 9. Or closer to 9. Whenever you was always already about to come on, I think, and I dozed off. So I slept a while. You know, my shift is not like everybody else's. But blessings to you. Right now, y'all, we are in offering time. We are in a time of giving from a space of love. So as bountifully as you can today. I'm releasing the word of the Lord over everyone who has. Mando kosa tabaya pakiyoro boku utuku. Mando kosa taya man sikiyoro boku tuaba. Shekata man sikiyoro boku tuamandio kose. Mandio koso toko shete bekiara mandio kosa taya. Me kataya man sikiyoro boku tuama. Ah, your mama loves you, Christian, so very, very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. Man soko reba ikataya. Man soko reba kiatama. Thank you, Apostle Charles Jerome, for your love offering. Let me say to you and to everybody that's listening to me, when you have friends, when you have those who are in your life, whether it be for a season or whether it be permanently, there are things that you will notice. There are things that you will notice. And if I'm noticing, then God is noticing as well. It is taught in over different parts of ministry. There's this idea with some that when you are in the presence or the company of another prophet or apostle or somebody else that carries a title, that somehow exempts us from the principle of sowing and reaping. But it doesn't. If I'm listening to you as an apostle, a prophet, or a preacher, or anybody, a guru, or whatever, and you bless my life, you in some way have poured something into me that is going to make me better from day to day, then it is my absolute honor to pour back into you to the best of my ability. I know that anybody who really knows me knows that if my bank accounts was already swimming, then my bountiful is pretty bountiful. But when someone else who carries the same or very similar anointing than you can show up and say, hey, we're connected, you're my sister, you're my friend, you're my brother, you're my friend, and they don't just show up, but they show up in support of you, that is not something they have to do. The principle, however, of course, still works, no matter what that status is. If you've been fed, you've been fed. But when you do so out of support and out of love, then that's another level of honor. And so as my friends, those who I call friend, those that I call friend, I keep them and hold them in such high regard. Such high regard, because it takes something to be able to say, though we are doing the same thing, I still honor the work that you are doing. And so it is my prayer now, and I don't have a lightweight prayer right now for you, Apostle Charles, but I have a prayer of absolute and total double portion, double to the hundredfold. The hundredfold that I'm already praying over your seed, double to that. 100-fold is already different than 100 times. 100 times yields a certain number, and that's great too. But 100-fold means you literally fold a paper 100 times, and you write the number that you sown on each of those squares, however many squares that it creates. And that's what you get, but double that, so that you are sustained for a lifetime, never to have another worry again about whether everything will work out. You will be able to fund your own ministry endeavors, but there will be people who will still honor you, rise up and call you blessed, and want to pour into every ministry endeavor that you take on. Even your personal endeavors, those things that are outside of what people may consider to be spiritual at all, but your personal endeavors, the producing of movies and different things, the creation of the things that you will be doing in this hour. There will be people who want to bless you, but automatically, listen to what I'm saying, there will be more than enough for you to fund everything from your personal accounts, from your ministry accounts. You'll be able to pour and literally pay for everything on this journey. But the money that you accrue for your personal self, it'll almost feel as if you ain't never got to spend anything, because you have opened up yourself to be a conduit to bless nations in whatever capacity and way that you can. God will see to it. And so this blessing, these blessings just pouring in one at a time, but in constant flow. You will not have a worry for the rest of your days. So no more worry, no more doubt, no more fear, no more what if it could be, what if it can't be. God says, as you dream, as you declare that this is the life that you want, it is okay for you to lean into it. But any fear that we carry, it welcomes the thing that we fear. That thing that we fear comes upon us, and so we have to leave fear or any type of doubt or cloudiness. Everything that he said to you over these past few months is true. It's time to reap. You are on the other side of the shift. You've already been catapulted from the place that you were. Oh my God. My God. What I hear the Lord say, and I'm seeing the number 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. It's just flashing before me. And I think I know the significance of the 5 years, but what I see is 5 years flashing and God literally turning the light off on it. It's not flashing anymore. Everything from those 5 years, everything that you've endured, it's erased in the spirit realm. So now you must be the one that receives that, to understand that you are on the other side of this shift, and you've been pulled the band back. You in that slingshot, you done been slung. And you are on the other side of this shift, and you are standing strong. You are not without support. You are not without love. You are not without resources. It is not in your control, because you have totally yielded and surrendered your life to the flow of God. You thought you did it before, but you're about to know for real what it looks like now. You'll be able to make every decision in peace. And everything, everything that you have dreamed of, everything that you have seen, everything that you have been requesting of God, so it has begun. So it has begun. Anything that feels like a fight or a tussle will be because you're in doubt and fear in some way. So immediately recognize that and just shift yourself, and then you'll see the situation shift as well. And it is so. And it is so. And it is so. Masokoreba. Mokoremandio kosu. Shekatamanso. That is the last of the seed. And that is the last of the seeds for today. I pray over each and every individual that is present under the sound of my voice, that the prayer of courage of today, the courage to stand for something, not stand against. You don't need to focus on what you're against. You simply don't have to participate. It's not beneficial for you, but we are standing in love. It's a different stance. Love is not postured to fight. Love is postured to embrace, to give, to yield, to pour. No fight. No fight. No fight. We are not creating ministries and endeavors out of venomous places. We're standing for what we want to see produced. Then he'll hear from heaven and heal the land. When we heal this brokenness and we do an about face, everything shifts because love is the answer to all things. Father, we thank you. Yo, wait, yo, what? The one we talk about every day? You got to help me track right now. Oh, God. Whew. The word inheritance just passed across me. I don't know what that is for. Just no. Your mom's mom. Father, we give you glory. Father, we give you glory. Father, we give you glory. Because we don't know the impact that a single individual can have on a family, we can only pray that those who are affected in any way, that they are comforted and that peace is the portion. I lift up Apostle Charles. I lift up Miss Pam. I lift up the entire family. I pray that every lesson that has come, I pray that every lesson that has come is seared within. Of course, they will know what to keep that is for their benefit. But we thank you for the peace that surrounds them even now. Let there be peace that surpasses any understanding. Let there be resolve and healing. Man soko rebai kataya. Shokotaman sikio rebokotua. Mandio koso remandio kosikia ramandio kos. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Let it be so now. It is so, and so it is. Shoko remandio kosutu. Mekataya man soko remandio ko. Thank you, Ms. Donna, for your agreement. Go out today for the rest of your evening and choose how you're going to look at life and take life on today. We're constantly in a heart check if we choose to be. We are growing, we are expanding, and we cannot turn back. We are doing and living in the way that God has called us to. And there's no shame in that. So here's to your spiritual liberation through your soul's healing. I love you just because I can. And I will talk to you all again soon. 100 days of prayer and flow are still underway. Tomorrow is day 21. On day 30, we will actually have a special guest with us. On day 60, Dr. Charles actually will be on with us. On day 90, I'll address it at some other point. But on this 30 days, Apostle Marilyn E. Porter will be with us. I was not instructed to allow a whole bunch of people to join me during this 100 days. It's like God is saying, nope, girl, you doing this. You got this. But these 30 days are markers. And so Apostle Marilyn E. Porter will be with us on the 22nd. That'll be the 30th day of prayer. And on day 60, Apostle Charles Jerome, with an N, will be with us on day 60. And day 90, again, we will announce that closer to that time. But on those days, for Apostle Marilyn, I think we'll be on at noon. The only days I can really give you a projection. That's the only day that I've given you an actual time before time. But on the 12th, it'll be, on the 22nd, on the 30th day, it'll be at noon. And so I'll be live on that day at noon. But obviously, if they are being summoned, if God has allowed them to say yes, then there's something that you need to hear. And so we're grateful. Oh, thank you so much, Apostle. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. The only other announcement that I have for you right now, besides making sure that you order What If God Is All of Us, considering the Love Walk approach to social justice and global healing, that is literally the book, the foundational book, where so many other things are going to flow from. There will be another book very soon that will focus more on the actual Love Walks acronym, how we minister the Love Walk approach. Is from the acronym Love Walks, and it is Love Walks among us, as us, and for us. God is all things, omnipresent, at the same time, all the time. God is love, therefore love walks among us, as us, for us. God walks among us, as us, and each and every one of us. And we are healed and we rise up so that we can use our giftings in the earth and we can help bear the burdens of one another. So that's for us. All right. I'll be doing the separate book on that soon. It will dive deeper into each principle. So get ready for that. Also on the 25th of January, which will be the heavenly birthday, the marker for my biological father. I call him Reverend Daddy. I had a couple of fathers in my life that made an impact. He was the one who got me here. It was his soldiers that swam and got your girl here a whole lot of years after all the other kids. So I was born for this. I was born to be here, meant to be present. All right. But that will be the mark of his heavenly birthday. So I will tribute and speak from that perspective. Also, I will be releasing a new project, one unlike anything I've done before. So get ready for that. I'll announce it on the day of. I am celebrating 15 years of being a coach, 18 years of being a published author, and 15 years of having my locks, my hair. And I will be cutting them off from this source, and all the way off. And everybody's like, you gonna just cut them shorter, or are you cutting them off? Well, it has been a 15-year journey and I've never cut my hair. So when I cut them, I will be cutting them off completely. My head is, starting to feel the weight, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. So I'm going to be cutting them. So I will be revealing that look on that day as well. Everything is shifted. I'm on the other side of the shift too, Apostle Charles, and it's time for true authenticity, standing in the truth of who I am. I'm going to talk about that. The event is called Unlocking Wisdom. And it's unlocking, literally like undoing my hair, unlocking wisdom, 15 years of coaching and embracing the treasure within. So you're going to hear me talk about me, about my story, about where I am and why I'm here and why I can never go backwards. Only for emotion. That's my desire. That's my heart's desire. Just for emotion. So 25th, the registration is free. You will have an opportunity to give or to celebrate with me if you choose during that day. But I want you to just come celebrate. So no pressure on the registration. It is free. Go to treasuresjourney15.eventbrite.com. Treasures Journey 15. Let me go ahead and put it in here for those who like to click links if you can. Treasures Journey 15.eventbrite.com. So if you want to be a part of it, if you want to come join me, just register. That's it. That's all you have to do. And we're actually less than 2 weeks away now. But it is a pivot. It is a change. It is a shift, and you get to witness it up close and personal. My team does have some people that they may be gathering to say some words if they choose to. So if you know of any of my moderators or team members, Corrine Destiny, Nadia Robinson, Taisha, Bryant, Jayana, Khadijah, Kaylin Williams, was still holding up one of our team members. So y'all can continue to pray for her as well with the losses that she's had over this past few months. So pray for Quantina. But if you know any of my team members, please reach out if there's something that you want to say. If there's something you want to say and you don't know any of them, it's okay for you to reach out to me, and then I will orchestrate with them as to what they want to do and how they want to do it. So go ahead and let's do this. Let's do this. All right. I love y'all so much just because I can. In the link to give and to pour is still present. You can do that at any time, and I will cover you. Amen. Many blessings.